Hello, this is Ted Argyle from Adrenalin Martial Arts Centre, and welcome to the fifth of our 30 videos where I talk about the 30 lessons that I've learnt as a full-time martial artist, a full-time martial arts instructor, and as a business owner for the last 20 years. I've got sunglasses on today. I'm a little bit light sensitive and I'm outside, so I'll have to wear sunglasses, so I apologise for that. And you can probably see the reflection of the camera in my glasses, which is very professional. With that said, what I wanted to talk about today, one of the lessons I've learned as a full-time martial arts instructor, is that whatever you're teaching, you really need to know inside and out if you expect to be teaching it. Does that mean you need to know everything that's out there about your particular subject? No, I don't think that's important. If you look at the martial arts world through the filter of YouTube, for example, as just one example of the plethora of information that's available, there's literally thousands and thousands upon thousands of techniques available. So if you're a martial arts teacher, does that mean that you should know all of those thousands and thousands of techniques? Absolutely not. Because if you were, then you might be about 90 when you get to teach everything. I think it's a good idea to have a handle on what's around. It's a good idea to be aware of what's around in your particular field of interest. So for example, if you're a BJJ practitioner as I am, and a BJJ instructor as I am, then you need to know the overall landscape of that system. Meaning that you should know what all the positions are, you should know a few submissions from each of those positions and a few different escapes from each of those positions, and a few ways to tie information together. But is it necessary to know the 1500 arm bars from guard? No, I don't think it is. Because as I said a minute or so ago, if you were to do that, you'd be 90 before you knew it all. But I do think it's important that whatever you're teaching within that system, or whatever system you're teaching, I also teach Muay Thai, self-defense, and the Filipino martial arts, that whatever your techniques you are teaching, that you should know those very, very well. So again, it doesn't matter how big your curriculum is, meaning that, let's assume we're talking about, let's use BJJ as an example again. You know, some schools have a curriculum where there's 500 to 600 techniques. Other schools that I've trained at have their technique repertoire is much less, meaning they might only have half of that, but they can do those 300 techniques or even 200 techniques or even less very, very well. So who's right and who's wrong? Well, they're both right and they're probably both wrong. I don't know. The one thing that I do know is that you're far better off knowing 5 things really, really well, inside and out, than knowing 1500 things not very well. So, and this is something that's hard to do. It was easier to do when I first started, to be honest, because there wasn't that much information around. So whatever information you did have, if you approached it the right way, you would work your ass off to get those techniques perfect. Now with the internet, it's very easy to get excited about lots and lots of different techniques and try to get good at them all. But as a general rule, that does not happen. My philosophy with training is that you're far better off knowing a little bit less, but being very, very good at that, rather than knowing a lot and being very, very average at all of it. Because when it comes down to the crunch, meaning if you have to apply this stuff under an amount of pressure, meaning that if you're a Muay Thai fighter and let's look at the most extreme, which is to get in the ring and fight. If you're a BJJ practitioner and you're in a tournament, or if you're a self-defense exponent and someone decides to give you a hard time, or if you're a Filipino martial arts exponent and someone decides to attack you with a knife. So all of the end of the spectrum as far as pressure goes, you can know all the techniques under the sun, but when it comes down to the crunch, it's not about how many techniques you know, it's how well you can do those techniques. Now, does that mean that you shouldn't experiment with the 15,000 techniques available on the internet? Absolutely not. You should look at it all if you can, and try to do it all if you can. But your core techniques, your core repertoire that you rely on 99% of the time, you need to know that material inside and out. And as an instructor, it's my responsibility, or if you're an instructor listening to this, it's your responsibility to make sure that the techniques you teach, you know inside and out. And if you don't know them inside and out, be honest about that. There's lots of things that I teach in my school that I'm not 100% competent in, and they certainly don't fall within my field of expertise because of my physique, my athletic abilities, and so on. And I'm always honest with my students about that. I say, look, I learnt this technique from X person, Y person, or I learnt it off the internet. This is how the technique works. I am not 100% competent at it. If you want to get good at it, I would suggest you do A, B, C. Look at this person or that person if you want to get a better grip of how this works. But here's how the technique works as far as I understand it. And I don't pretend to know stuff that I don't. So I think that's really, really important that you're honest with people. You're honest with people where you learn something. You're honest with people about your ability to pull this technique off. And if you can or can't, you need to be honest about that. And people will respect you for that. People won't respect you if you've pulled something off the internet 5 minutes before class. You can't really do it properly. You're not really sure how to set it up. You know, that just makes you look a little bit silly and a little bit incompetent. So my lesson for today is whatever you're teaching, make sure you know inside and out. And if you don't, just be honest about that. So that's my lesson for today. I look forward to talking to you tomorrow. Thank you. Bye.